Hey guys, welcome back to Let's Play Tales of Xillia. In the last episode, we took control of Mila, and we did the whole scenario down in the lava tubes, and we fought the Fire Teagle. And we arrived here at the Gilland Woods Temple, where we met up with Jude and all of the other companions. We also met up with Gaius, and we found out that Gilland and his band of soldiers have taken over Kanbalar and are stationed in Kanbalar. So, as of right now, Gaius wants to go back into the temple to kind of discuss the attack to go and get back Kanbalar.
Muse certainly is easy on the eyes, wouldn't you say?
I guess. Leave Jude alone for half a second and he always comes back with some new girl.
Someone's a little jealous. But if we come in here to the worship hall, a cutscene will activate.
You've come.
So in the end, you've chosen to trust that man. You're more naive than I thought, Maxwell.
Tell us what your purpose is for bringing us here.
We will stand and fight against those invaders. If you intend to challenge them yourselves, we won't attempt to stop you.
But first, there's something you need to tell us. I want you to tell us what you know about the schism.
What's that?
Two millennia ago, I cast the spirit art, Schism. It created a new world and sealed it away. That world is yours. It is known as Riza Maxia.
Did Mila just say that she created the entire world? Wow! She's like a goddess or something!
It was for protecting spirits and humans.
Riza Maxia is sealed. That implies the existence of another world outside the schism, does it not?
Yes. And that world is called Olympius. I was gravely mistaken about the Lance of Kresnik's true purpose. Exodus convinced Noctigal that it was a weapon, but all along they were plotting to create a device that would dispel the schism.
Dispel the schism? To what end?
I do not know. I wonder if perhaps they were looking for a means to siphon mana back to Olympius.
No. All Exodus ever wanted was to go home. Back home to Olympius. It's all we've wanted for more than 20 years since we became trapped in Riza Maxia. We needed to find a way to either break through the schism or dispel it completely.
But in order to dispel the schism, they would have to find a way to eliminate its creator.
I see. So that's why Exodus kept trying to kill you.
It doesn't add up. What is Gilland's master plan?
I'm confused. I still don't understand.
Gilland's actions are not going to get Exodus home any faster.
He didn't need to bring the whole Olympian army. In unifying Riza Maxia, that was never our original intention. Gilland must intend to make use of Riza Maxia with the schism intact. But for what purpose? That's it. The Otherworld reactor plan. What?
Huh? The hell's that?
Most folks knew it as the Spirit Fuel Plan.
That sounds bad.
I remember my cousin telling me about it when I was still a kid back on the other side. Something about capturing spirits and using them as fuel for Spyrexes.
So you're saying Gilland's ultimate goal is to corral all the spirits?
But that doesn't make sense either. If all he wants is spirits, then why bother with the lies? Unless he's planning on trapping us in Rize Maxia for our mana lobes.
He seeks to use the people of Rize Maxia as a power source? The man is insane.
Gilland most likely returned to Exodus HQ on the ocean. The Olympian army is with him, so getting there by boat won't be easy.
Well then, perhaps we can commandeer one of the flying ships they have, docked at Kanbalar.
Oh yeah, right. Because that sounds easy.
It may indeed be our only option.
Very well. We attack tomorrow.
Wait a minute, Gaius. Aren't we gonna team up on this? I mean, we both want the same thing, so...
It's not a social gathering.
Just how stupid are you anyway?
It was Maxwell who created the schism, and trapped us all inside of it in the first place. Imprisonment is not so easily forgiven. It's entirely possible we may end up fighting each other again.
I'm sure you can understand why we're not ready to get all buddy-buddy with you.
Like I said, do what you want. Just make sure to stay out of our way.
Can you believe it? The nerve of those guys!
They must be short-handed. Why else would they share that kind of information with us?
Despite what they said, I still believe that they are counting on all of us.
For now, at least.
And we learned a lot from that cutscene. We learned that there are two worlds now. And Mila had cast a spirit art called Schism in order to barricade itself from the two worlds. But we have a sub-quest right here.
Perhaps this is the opportunity to speak to Wingle that I've been waiting for.
That initiates a sub-event that happens right outside the temple, actually. But yeah, we just learned that there are indeed two worlds, and a barrier separating the two called the Schism. The other world is Olympius, and that's where Alvin's from. Alvin is and Gilland are both from that world, where there's not too many spirit activities. So they're trying to invade Rize Maxia, the other world, to gain power of the spirits and gain total control over the inhabitants of Rize Maxia, because they can control the spirits. So talk about a big cutscene that was. Well, let's go outside here. As soon as you leave the temple from this point, we have another skit here, but you'll see there are two sub-events that happen right in front of us. We're going to be taking care of this, but first we have a skit here. Footprints.
My neck is killing me.
Did you sleep on it wrong?
No, it's been this way since I was swept into the Fezabel marsh flow.
I have a poultice you can use, although it was intended for lower back pain.
Jude, it's pretty faint, but I think there's a footprint on your face.
Huh. I did have a dream that Agria was repeatedly stomping my head.
From the size and shape of that footprint, it would seem that dream was no dream at all.
What is wrong with her? Why would she do that?
Maybe she was trying to apologize, saying we got off on the wrong foot?
Oh dear. I'm going to chalk this one up to a concussion.
You don't know how close you just came to getting another boot in your face.
Real smooth, Jude, with that pun. We also saw that cutscene, but we have another skit here. Looking out for little sis.
I'm sorry for getting you tangled up in this war.
Not at all. I welcome the opportunity. As a spirit, I can never forgive those who use Spyrex.
It is good to have your strength on our side. You have my gratitude.
Your gratitude? As a big sister, What choice do I have but to keep my little sister out of trouble?
A bit condescending, aren't we?
Ah, isn't it wonderful to have a family?
Is that what we are?
It would seem so.
So, Mila's coming to realization she has a family right now with, Muse being her sister and all. But if we come over here and talk to them, we initiate a sub-event.
What do you want?
It's about Zhao.
He's dead. Did you think he somehow survived that?
Know what I heard? I heard he died protecting a spoiled little brat and her stuffed dolly. A fitting end for a foolish old man. How can you? Don't you talk that way about him! You got a problem with me saying the truth?
That's enough, Agria.
It's not even close to enough. The lives of the Chimeriad belong to His Highness. But that old fool threw his away for some sniveling brat.
That's true, but his sacrifice did give His Highness a chance to escape.
He was an idiot right until the end. Always giving me candy when he saw me, like I was some sort of little kid. He just needs to die already.
He did. With Zhao gone, the offensive might of the Chimeriad has diminished sharply.
Ah! I'm all the offensive we need. That goes for you too, Grandma. No one will miss you when you kick off.
I'm relieved to hear that.
Just you watch. I'll protect His Highness all by myself.
I'm getting a headache. How am I supposed to relieve this stress when there's no one left to talk to or have a drink with?
So, that's it? We're never gonna see Zhao again.
And this kind of puts the final nail in the coffin of the fact that Zhao is really dead. We're not going to be seeing him anymore. And it's really sad that it's come to that, but, Zhao died a hero, so... Anyways, let's go ahead and talk to Wingle here and initiate another one.
Wingle, there's something I would like to ask you. Am I correct in my understanding that you led Azul's armies at Fezabel Marsh? Using boosters to move through the marsh was a brilliant strategy.
Are you mocking me? That strategy played right into Gilland's hands.
You aren't the only one who failed to see through Gilland's facade. I share the same shame.
I didn't realize someone who turned his back on his duty had any honor left to lose. Is that what you're doing here? Some sad attempt to return to the battlefield and erase your shame?
How can you say that? Don't you make fun of Rowan? He's a great guy for someone who's so old.
You were a skilled tactician in your prime, I grant you that. But how much of that skill remains today? Former Chief of Staff Ilbert. Care to play a game?
A game, you say?
A mock battle, using a real military map. But of course I would understand if you were reluctant to see how time has ravaged your talents.
You don't need to buy into this.
I accept.
This board lets us control data from historic battles and see different ways they might play out.
And what battle is this data from?
20 years ago, on the Fezabel Outback.
The Battle of Fezabel.
The struggle between the armies of Rashagal and the former king of Azul.
Correct. It was a tragic battle in which both armies suffered heavy casualties from a giant tsunami. It was Ilbert the Conductor's one and only draw.
And you wish to recreate that battle now?
This is no recreation. If I had led Azul into battle, we would have won. That is what I will prove here today. Formation Ichthyes. All troops advance.
The core of the Rashagal army is being pushed back.
Left and right troops spread out to the wings. Surround the enemy's vanguard.
It's no good. The vanguard is unstoppable. What is this power?
That's Gaius' unit. Their first time in battle. You won't surround them so easily.
Both wings advance. Circle to the enemy's flank.
Planning to launch a counterattack from my flank? Such a boring and predictable response. I'll simply attack while your troops are changing course. This battle will be won before the tsunami hits.
The enemy is turning faster than Rashigal.
Look out!
All troops maintain forward movement. Your goal is the high ground behind the Azul army.
What?
Rashigal's army is assembling on the hill.
It's over. It is impossible to defeat a defending army on high ground in so short a time. Soon the tsunami will come and engulf the plains. You will have no choice but to retreat.
And this is what you call a victory?
I am satisfied simply not to lose.
I see. Thank you for the match, Conductor. We will settle this in a different way.
Sore loser!
You did great, Rowan.
It's because I failed in the past. If only I had used this strategy back then.
I think it's great you learned from your mistake. You're still growing, even at your age.
Indeed. And I still have a great deal more growing to do. I may even grow out of these clothes one day.
I like that last line that Rowan said. I may grow out of these clothes one day. But yes, both of those sub-events that we just looked at, those will go away if you proceed any further with the plot of the game. So those are really, really missable. Those are really the only chance you'll get with those ones. But anyways, our next objective is to simply go to bed. I went trying to find the room that we're supposed to stay in, but I was kind of like confused a little bit. I know I played this game like many of times, but this part always confused me where I was supposed to go. But we're supposed to go to bed and prepare for the big ol' attack tomorrow. But if you come in here and you investigate the bed, you should be able to go ahead and rest here for the night.
Didn't we agree that I would kill you for this sort of thing?
Good luck killing me when you're dead.
You got a message earlier today. What did it say?
What's it matter?
At first, I thought you were just in shock over Gilland's betrayal. But the timing wasn't quite right.
My mother is dead.
It happens. All humans die.
Is that your idea of sympathy? First Gilland betrays me, then my mother dies. Life sure is peachy.
Do you still want to return to Olympias?
What other choice do I have?
But I'm not going to die.
What's that got to do with anything?
Would you consider staying in Riza Maxia?
What?
Would that be so terrible? You'd be with Jude, and me, and everyone else.
You're the first person to offer me something like that after finding out who I really am. You're out of your mind.
You wander off again?
Sorry to wake you, kid.
You didn't. I can't sleep. So what happened with you today?
What's with this sudden interrogation?
You just have me worried is all. Do you still want to go back home to Olympias?
Worry about your own problems, kid. You want to protect Mila, right?
No, she can protect herself. I just want to make sure she wins. I think that's the kind of help she needs most.
Huh. So you want to stay with her forever, then?
What? Alv, what are you talking about?
You won't have any reason to stay with her once this is all over, you know.
I know.
If you don't tell her how you really feel, someone else will beat you to the punch. You can't just count on destiny to work everything out for you. Fate doesn't have your back.
Yeah, I know. Maybe I need more time.
You really do listen to everything I say, don't you?
Huh?
Nighty-night, kid.
And after all those cutscenes, we have awoken in the middle of the night. Jude is kind of, you know, not able to go to sleep, but we're supposed to kill time before bedtime. All you have to do simply is to come over here, and you'll notice Mila sitting on the bench right here, and you need to talk to her. Same goes with Mila's story. You'd find Jude here.
Can't sleep?
No.
Me neither. You don't want to ask me anything about what I revealed earlier today?
No, you did the right thing. The just thing.
At least I hope so. Justice is a complicated concept. It means different things to different people.
And what is justice to you?
I thought this wasn't a social gathering.
Answer me, Maxwell.
It is the power of will that resides within one's heart.
In this, we are both in agreement. Those with this willpower bear a responsibility to this world. The strong must protect and guide the weak.
Gaius, weakness isn't an affliction of the body, but of the heart. The world will always have weak-willed people, but that in itself isn't a bad thing.
Then we must protect the weak until they can become strong. That is our duty.
We?
Yes. All who are strong must look after the weak. It is the only way to ensure that future generations will have sufficient strength as well.
So that's your solution to the problem I posed in Fezabel Marsh?
As I told you then, I can chart a new future for mankind if I just have enough power. But if a man like Gilland takes the stage, a man who can only use power for his own gain, then mankind will be doomed to repeat the same mistakes.
I see. But I'm afraid it's not up to me to approve your answer. Your concept of justice is your own. It's not my place to interfere.
As you say.
The two of you sure are alike.
How so?
No matter how extreme her words are, I think there's always truth to them. I get the same sense from you.
Do you want to be like Maxwell?
I wouldn't mind it, although I know that's impossible.
I see.
We should probably get some rest.
Yes. The showdown's tomorrow.
And now, after all that, we have to prepare for battle. We have to prepare for the reclaiming of Kanbalar and get that flying ship in order to commandeer, in order to board Gilland's main base and the sea outside.
How do you intend to hijack a ship that's docked in the sky?
We'll use the wyverns in the castle.
You have to get there first.
I have no intention of sneaking into my own castle.
We shall march up the main road and reclaim it.
What? You can't be serious.
Indeed. At the very least, you should split into two groups. Create a diversion.
Keep your tactics to yourself, you old fart.
Jude, do you know what you have to do?
Of course. I have to help Mila win. It's that simple.
Then let's go.
There's a path leading into the city off the side of the temple.
Oh, why can't we all stick together? What shall we do?
Let's see.
We can take that side path from the temple into the city, then move along the roofs to the castle. From there, we can both capture the flying battleship and retake the castle and its soldiers. Meanwhile, Gaius and the others will create their diversion.
Sure would be nice if they let us in on their plan for once.
Anyway, let's go.
You got it.
Now, what we need to do is we need to go up in the back door of Kanbalar in order to sneak into the castle. But first, we have a skit here. Muse's duty.
How long do you intend to accompany us?
However long I must. It is my duty to serve Lord Maxwell in the eradication of this Exodus group of Spyrex users.
I don't recall ordering that.
Your memories are your own, but it is the truth.
Regardless, it sure is good to have a great spirit on our side.
Yes. And I would be most grateful if you would continue to direct tether with me.
I knew it. You really are in that kind of relationship.
But why won't anyone explain this to me?
Because you're supposed to know, Jude. You dirty devil, you. But we have another skit here. Runs in the family. Let's go ahead and listen to it.
Don't stare at me like that!
What exactly is this strange object that is speaking to me?
Strange? Strange? Maybe you should take a peek in the mirror, weirdo!
Oh my, rude as well as strange. I cannot say that I am fond of it.
The mean spirit lady is calling me rude! Tipo, are you okay? Wow, she can even frazzle Tipo. I bet she really is stronger than Mila.
It's her natural obliviousness that makes her so formidable.
Unless that's just an act. Although that would be even scarier.
That's no act. She is Mila's sister, after all.
And you just say that in front of me? Who's the oblivious one now?
So you've lost the four and gathered these strange humans in their place. What a peculiar choice.
And my band of strange companions keeps growing.
Oh boy, we got another one. This one's called the Tao of Zhao. Let's go ahead and listen to it.
Can I ask a question?
What is it?
It's about Zhao. Do you know why he saved Elise?
A difficult question. I could speculate, but we'd have no way of knowing if I was right.
It looked to me like he sacrificed himself to honor a vow he had made. But what sort of vow and to whom, I couldn't begin to guess.
So nobody knows.
Why not ask the other members of the Chimeriad? They would know Zhao better than we do.
But they're so scary. You guys do it!
That could certainly be arranged. However...
Would you be satisfied with an answer that you didn't find for yourself?
That's true.
The whole situation with Zhao is getting a little bit deeper. Elise wants to know why he did what he did. But alas, what we need to do is we need to actually come up this way in order to get to Kanbalar. And it'll be on top of the rooftops. Like so. If we come up here, we're in Kanbalar. We're actually on the rooftop tops of the buildings here.
How long has it been since I've had one of Mom's home-cooked meals?
And one thing you need to be careful of, there are Exodus agents here that we need to take care of. This in particular is none other than reskin, but this one's called an infiltrator servant. These guys can actually kind of hurt if you just let them like get up on you, because these are kind of like high-level monsters. They're really not like super high-level, but you still have Muse at this point, and Muse will help a lot in situations. But anyways, let's go ahead and just wail on these characters here and just keep getting them out of here. They are weak to light, by the way. Thanks to Leia giving me that power up.
Forgive us.
For defeating you.
And taking your items.
That's just spoils of war.
I love this little end skit that they do right there about that. It's like, sorry, but we're defeating you and taking your items. It's just like, yeah, that's not an oblivious fourth wall break if I've never seen some myself. But anyways,
sure is getting heavy.
Perfect weather for an infiltration.
But yeah, we are on top of the Kanbalar buildings, and we have to kind of go meander our way to the castle in a way this way.
Everyone, get down.
He sure is strong.
You could say that again.
Jude, behind you.
Huh?
You gonna gawk all day, kid? Let's go.
All right.
It looks like Gaius and his friends are, you know, managing to be careful, or managing to take care of themselves just fine. Not as well as take care of ourselves. These guys have chainsaws for arms. Be careful of that. These are another one of those big old fist enemies, but they've got chainsaw for arms. So they're especially hurtful, and as you guys can see, it really does pack punch. That's pretty much that, and there's also these guys that shoot the energy beams out of their weapons and stuff like that. So be careful of this. I don't really have to explain that they're really not that hard. They're really not that hard, but they're also just don't take them for granted either. That's really all I can really say about that. I think I'm actually going backwards if I remember correctly. I think this is the way I actually came from. Yeah, I was like, oh wait, I made a U-turn. I didn't even realize that in recording. I was like, oh wait a second, I made a U-turn here. I probably shouldn't have done so. But we already took care of this guy here. Now let's go back and go the right way this time.
Oh, it's freezing! There's so much snow, I can't even tell where we're going!
Right direction or not, we'd better keep moving before we freeze.
It's cold. It's like there's a humongous blizzard going on in Kanbalar right now. That's just ridiculous here. But I mean, it was snowing in like all the areas that we've been to, but it's really starting to pick up here now. But let's go ahead and just take care of these guys here. We are getting to a level that I'm going to be doing another tutorial in a way. We are getting to that level where we're starting to unlock something called an arcane art. And I'll go into more detail about that later because I actually do this thing for the tutorial anyway. But what you need to do is you need to build up your link gauge to max, like you normally do whenever you fight. And once you get it to max, there's going to be a tutorial whenever you get...
Never-ending trust.
I sure hope so.
Oh gosh, I love that skit. Anyways, we are getting to a point right now where we have a arcane art. Actually, I'm going to go ahead and do that. We've got an arcane art called Savage Roar. And I'm going to equip this to June. This is going to be with him for pretty much the rest of the game. I'm going to have that equipped to him the rest of the game. Savage Art is a very strong art attack. And you'll see it whenever I do that. But we're getting to a point where we start unlocking these arts called Arcane Arts. And actually, I think if I remember correctly, I kind of show it in this battle here. That's what Savage... Well, if I didn't get interrupted like that. But Savage Roar, he kind of like gets him trapped in a kick, a backflip kick, and then he does a shockwave down. This does a lot of damage. And this is honestly one of the dude's best arts in the entire game. So, yeah, right here, there's a tutorial. It says, in over-limit state, you can perform a powerful mystic art by holding down the X button after you hit a foe with an arcane art. Using mystic art ends the over-limit state, so time your activation carefully. Once we get to a point where we unlock that arcane art, we can actually start doing mystic arts ourselves. If you remember what mystic arts were those big old flashy moves that happen when, you know, you get to a certain point. But I'll get into more of that later.
They appear to be struggling.
Shouldn't we help them?
Their diversion will be for naught if we join them.
We have to save His Highness.
Don't let them lay a finger on His Highness or the civilians!
The people really do love him.
If I'm not mistaken, your job here is still to help Mila win.
That's right. Let's go, Leia.
Gotcha.
But yeah, we can actually start doing our own mystic arts. But all we have to do now is we have to come over here and start jumping down all the way down to the end of the building here. And once we get and gain access to the temple itself, we'll be able to get the wyverns that we need in order to infiltrate the ship.
We must commandeer the bridge.
That it up there?
Repel the hostiles!
We'll have to fight our way through.
And now we have to fight these soldiers in order to commandeer the ship. Now that we've gotten on top of the ship, we have to actually gain access to it, and we have to destroy these guys. You actually saw Alvin do an arcane art himself. It's called Hellpire. I'll be going into more detail about that later.
Come on, how many soldiers does this tub carry?
Let's split into two groups. One group can run over to the bridge and bring the ship to ground level.
Good idea. That way Gaius and his crew can reinforce us. Then we can break through these troops.
All right, then the question is who shall go?
I'm gonna stay here and fight. Mila, you should go.
Are you sure, Jude?
I couldn't help overhearing your plan with these perfect ears of mine!
Isn't that...
Hey! Who the hell are you?
Ivor?
Oh, wow. That idiot survived.
Hit the showers, fraud! The curtain just closed on you! I'm the new star of the show now!
Thanks, Ivor. I'll rest. I could use a breather.
No, 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 no! This is all wrong! Now you're supposed to explode into a jealous rage!
Okay, in that case, I'll take care of it.
Ha! You think I'm just gonna let you play the hero? Gangway!
You've gotten pretty good at handling him.
Nah, that just kind of popped into my head.
Well, he totally ignored Mila this time.
Maybe he's obsessed with you now, Jude. But if he pulls his own weight, I have no complaints. Anyway, let's go.
I just love how that battle, when Ivor came up, that everything just stopped. Everything just stopped. It's just like, what is this atrocity that just happened to him? They allowed him to go up onto the bridge itself. I just can't believe that that battle just completely just stopped for the nonsense. But anyways, let's go ahead and just defeat this guy.
Fighting the only answer?
Oh gosh.
Finally.
I have seized control of the ship! Drop your weapons and surrender!
Ivor, set us down on the ground.
What do you think I'm trying to do? Fly loop-de-loops? This button maybe? No? This must be it.
it. What do you do this time?
Hopeless as usual.
Quite a predicament.
Can you tell us anything about these things?
Now's hardly the time to chat. You're under attack.
Now we have to defeat these spider extensories. These guys are like the tortoise enemies. They're just really slow moving, and they just pack a punch. Now I'm going to be showing off this Mystic Art. Now what you need to do is you need to have Overlimit activated, and I'm going to go ahead and link up with people because this is going to take a lot. As soon as you activate your Overlimit by simply, doing linked art like so, come over and you do a Savage Roar, and you hold X, you do a Mystic Art. This is your most powerful attack in your arsenal. But the only cost is it automatically ends Overlimit. But it's worth it. That was Jude's. It's called Final Fury, and it's really freaking powerful.
Glad that's over.
We'll take over from here.
Gaius probably didn't need us after all.
Lady Mila, are you unharmed?
Yes, thanks to everyone but you.
What?
The ship is ours! Let's return to the castle.
Here, let me help you up.
How long until we can set sail?
I have every available man working to get the ship's systems under control. It may take a few hours.
Looks like we still have some time.
Let's rest until then.
But now, we've reclaimed Kanbalar, and everything's good right now. Now, I'm going to say this right now. Actually, we have a skit here. It says, where did I hear of Kanbalar before? Let's go ahead and listen to the skit.
Didn't Carla say she was from Kanbalar? Maybe she went back home.
This is your last chance to get all the sub-events done before Chapter 3 closes. We're nearing the end of Chapter 3. So, in the next episode of Let's Play Tales of Xillia, because I'm actually ending off the episode here, because we did a lot already, we're going to be doing all the remaining side quests in Chapter 3 before we go and talk to Gaius and board the ship to go onto Gilland's vessel. So with that, I will see you guys in the next episode of Let's Play Tales of Xillia. See you guys later.